Are you kidding me?
January 28, 1986, NASA launched a mission into space that would change the public's perception of space travel forever. In about 73 seconds into the flight, the space shuttle broke apart and the 7 crew members tragically lost their lives.
People are wondering why there's garbage and trash all around it and it's not being cleaned up anymore.
Hey yo, we are back at it again. I've been under the weather for some time, but I'm feeling way better. I'm happy to be back. But before we get into this episode, I do want to say thanks for all the support I've been receiving so far. Everything is greatly appreciated. But without further ado, in today's video, we'll be looking at some crazy TikToks that may reshape your reality. Let's get it.
Insane coincidences involving 9/11, Part 2. Michael Jackson had a meeting scheduled at the top of one of the Twin Towers on the morning of 9/11. But the night before, he was up until 3 a.m. chatting on the phone with his mom, and he ended up sleeping through the appointment. On that same morning, President George Bush's cousin Jim Pierce had a meeting scheduled on the 105th floor of the South Tower. But his group was apparently too large, so they rescheduled the meeting across the street last minute. In an episode of Johnny Bravo, there's a poster showing a building on fire with the words "Coming Soon." The episode aired in April of 2001, just 5 months before 9/11. In January of 2001, the World Trade Center's lease was sold to Larry Silverstein. Larry then took out an insurance policy that happened to include terrorism in its coverage. After 9/11, he took the insurance company to court and claimed that he should be paid double because there were 2 attacks. He won and was awarded $4.5 billion.
My condolences to all who lost loved ones in this chaotic event. But with all the possible endorsements one could add on a property insurance policy, it's a bit strange Larry landed on the one for terrorism. This one is a head scratcher.
Months are not a proper unit of time, are they? A month is either 28, 29, 30 or 31 days long. In common parlance, we talk about a month being 4 weeks long, but they're not. Only February is exactly 4 weeks long, and even then, that's only true 3/4 of the time. 94% of months are longer than a month. We know exactly how many seconds in a minute, how many minutes in an hour, hours in a day, and days in a week. We even know exactly how many months in a year. But the months themselves are a mystery. They chop and change. Let me give you an example. Okay? Yeah. How many months are there in a year? 12. Exactly. How many weeks are there in a year? 52. Good. However, 12 months, well, 12 times 4 is 48. And 52 minus 4 is 48. Doesn't take a genius to work out we've got 4 extra weeks. And what do 4 weeks make? A month. There are actually 13 months in a year. This is absolutely outrageous, and I have a solution. I have reformed the calendar. Let me be clear, it is not just the lack of rigour that I have issue with. I have another issue with months, a linguistic one. These are the months as we know them today. Take a look at the word October. Oct. Think of all the other words you know beginning with oct. Octopus, octagon, octogenarian. Think of all the words you know beginning with dec. Decade, decimal, decathlon. You don't have to be the sharpest linguist out there to realise that sept, oct, nov, dec represents 7, 8, 9, 10. And yet we've put them in positions 9, 10, 11, 12. Today, so what we're going to do, we're going to correct this system. The first thing we're going to do is sort out the numbering, obviously. So let's call that 7, 8, 9, 10, because they are called 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what they are. So if they're going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, it follows, does it not, that that becomes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So if that's what the numbers are going to be now, let's move July and August down to there, and let's move January and February down to there. So now we've got all the same months in the same order, it's just the numbering is more appropriate, okay? That's easy. Now, let's remove the egotistical Romans from our calendar. Let's remove Julius Caesar, remove Augustus Caesar. Let's perform a Caesarean section on our calendar. Let's remove them completely and replace them with the months they replaced, Quintillus and Sextillus, which are now in the right place, 5 and 6. That is the numbering sorted out. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, exactly where they should be. Now, obviously, is the time we introduce the 13th month, which, of course, will be Gormanuary. Now, what we've got there is 13 months of exactly 28 days long. Everything ticks over perfectly. March the 1st, New Year's Day, will always be a Sunday because nobody wants to go straight back to work on New Year's Day, do they? And it will always be a Sunday because of the order in the calendar. The first of every month will always be a Sunday. Now, it might have occurred to some of you, that 13 times 28 is 364. And that means we've got a day spare. We can't force the year to only be 364 days long. The year is to do with the stars stars and the planets. So what we're going to do is, after Gormanuary, we're going to have an intermission. It's 1 day long, and it's not called Sunday, it's not called Monday, it's not called anything. It isn't a day of the week, it is just intermission. It is basically an extended New Year's piss-up. You can go out on New Year's Eve, you don't have to go back until the 1st of March, everything is fine. What happens in intermission stays in intermission. And every 4th year, we have a 2-day intermission, and we call both of those days intermission. That's all it is. That regulates everything. Everything flows in a very orderly fashion from that point on.
Based on that logic alone, I may have to reach out to my prior employers. I may be owed unpaid wages.
It's getting a little steeper here. So we're definitely headed down a level or two. Look at this. What's this white coloration?
I'm not too sure.
The mine workers here. Look at that. It's still headed down. Now that's a sight. That's incredible. They just came up on something very interesting here. A concrete doorway. Looks like we reached a level. Whoa. This is wide open. A gigantic tunnel. Whoa. Are those tracks? Multiple tracks. Are you kidding me? Oh, I just turned around and saw that. Dude, I lost my mind. They say in Jurassic Park you have to see and touch. And I might lose my mind. You know, you are absolutely right. Wait, is that a drop-off below it? Look at that beauty.
I have a feeling that this cave could possibly lead to a whole new civilization. Hopefully they brought a directional compass with them, because they would have no chance getting out of this place with Google Maps.
They now have the red heifer, and they already have an altar built so that they can start sacrificing. Now, what does this mean to biblical end-time prophecy? Check this video out.
A massive altar already awaits, where the heifers are to be burned. Texas Red Angus, flying them 7,000 miles to Israel.
This is after a long research we find in Texas.
In Texas?
Yeah, Texas, United States of America.
According to some believers, the ceremony needs to be performed right here on the Mount of Olives, looking directly into where the temple once stood.
This is just another example that we're even closer to the end.
A secure, undisclosed location are these red heifers, to be precise. Some Jews and Christians believe they're the key to rebuilding the historic Jewish temple in Jerusalem and to beckoning the Messiah. To understand, you have to go back nearly 2,000 years. The ancient Romans destroyed the last temple in the city to rebuild it. These believers point to the Bible's book of Numbers. It commands the Israelites to sacrifice a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. Only then can the temple rise again.
Comment below what you think about this.
A red heifer without a bruise, a scar, or a blemish will definitely make for premium beef. But unfortunately, that heifer will not be contributing to any steak dinners. But enough about food. That's Israel prophecy to fulfill.
All conspiracies contain a nugget of truth. Watch this.
About your conspiracy, brother.
There aren't that many conspiracy theories anymore, because we found out that all conspiracy theories, there's a nugget of truth in there. It came from somewhere. That's where it became a theory. And then it progressed to the point where it became a conspiracy theory, because there was something there. See, in our industry, who pays you is who tells you what narrative you're allowed to use. And I'm not paid, so I own my narrative. Wow. So, if in media, somebody's getting paid.
I've got one that can see.
Cat is forever dropping gems. He does while he's on stage telling jokes or even in a casual setting like this. But take the music artists for example. They are paid to push certain narratives, and if they don't, you have the music label executives say,
the way my bank account is set up, the thing is, I got a check in the savings, but all the money is in my savings, so I gotta switch it. It's gonna take too long.
You get my drift.
Let's get into it. How is it that the White House was just bought? It's on Zillow still now, but it was just bought. All the going on, Cat Williams, Diddy. Yo, pay attention while paying attention. Seriously, yo. And people are wondering why the Palestinian flag is raised in front of the White House. People are wondering why there's garbage and trash all around it and it's not being cleaned up anymore. Because don't nobody live there. Pay attention, y'all. Stay woke. No bullshit. Next picture. Not a game. We need to be paying attention while paying attention, family. Keeping it real with K.
There's a few White House replicas out there, but it's kind of hard to refute Zillow's listing for 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But if this is true, whoever that realtor is just hit the jackpot.
Did you guys hear what NATO just said? And before I play this video, this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. But take a listen, y'all.
We today announced the kickoff of exercise Steadfast Defender 2024, which commences next week and runs through May. Steadfast Defender 24 will be the largest NATO exercise in decades, with participation from approximately 90,000 forces from all 31 allies, plus our good partner, Sweden. The alliance will demonstrate its ability to reinforce the Euro-Atlantic area via transatlantic movement of forces from North America. This reinforcement will occur during a simulated emerging conflict scenario against a near-peer adversary. Steadfast Defender 24 will be a clear demonstration of our unity, our strength, and our determination to protect each other, to protect, of course, our values and the rule.
Steadfast Defender 24 is the largest NATO exercise in decades, with 90,000 participants coming from 31 countries, including Sweden. Why did he have to throw Sweden in there? So I don't know what this is all about, but this is running until May, you guys. But obviously something is going on. And again, don't be alarmed, you guys, because yeah, this has to happen anyways. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This shit's crazy. It's intensifying, and now we're only in February. We seen what January brought. What do you think February is gonna bring? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Let's get this shift, you guys. Peace in.
As long as we can keep biting up that nuclear button and we don't have any missiles accidentally going off in this NATO simulation, we might be okay.
Are the crew members of the Space Shuttle Challenger still alive? On January 28, 1986, NASA launched a mission into space that would change the public's perception of space travel forever. In about 73 seconds into the flight, the space shuttle broke apart and the 7 crew members tragically lost their lives. Or did they? Apparently there were numerous reports indicating that a shuttle was going to fail. However, the mission still carried on as if the catastrophe was meant to happen. When it was reported, internet sleuths started digging and they found that a law professor, Judy Resnick, an engineering professor named Michael J. Smith, a teacher named Sharon McAuliffe, a CEO named Richard Scobie, popped up with the same age, name, looks, and likeness of the late crew members. The remaining 2 astronauts, Ronald McNair and Ellison Onizuka, coincidentally had twin brothers, but there were no birth records of them found. Furthermore, Richard Scobie's company, Cows and Trees, had a logo with a similar jet stream to the shuttle that crashed. Could these be clues as to what really happened?
I was having a hard time wondering how Ronald could possibly develop space front teeth in his later years, but then I came across this. At this point, he too could be a culprit. If this is true, next to the moon landing, this could be NASA's second biggest secret.
Flying cloud. You decide.
This footage surfaced on social media. At first, it appears to be a small cloud, but as the footage continues, the cloud changes shape. As the person continues to film, they comment that the cloud has lights within it, and they zoom in closer.
Lights in
Looking at the object even closer, the small twinkling lights can be seen more clearly. The object moves like a jellyfish across the sky.
Yeah, that's weird. It's definitely possible for clouds to change form due to the air movement, but based on the periodic light flashing and the rate of change, there appears to be some type of manipulation that's way beyond my comprehension. Alright guys, so that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, but before you leave, don't forget to sub up, like this video as well. I will see you guys in the next one, but until then, peace and love.